Prices dropped in April. Our median price dropped from $319,000 to $310,000. That's a 2.8% drop. Is that a sign of what is to come? Or is the fact that May went from $310,000 to $315,000 a reason to be optimistic?
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
What's up, everybody? I'm Adam Hopkins here. I'm a local real estate agent and I absolutely love helping people find that perfect home. Welcome to the Vegas Report. And if you haven't already, join the discussion at the Vegas Report Facebook group, where we would love to hear from you. In our March report, we discussed how we saw a rush to the market from motivated buyers wanting to make sure they secured a home. April is the first month that we get to see the full COVID effect. But before we get into that, I need to ask you a favor. Please hit that thumbs up button below, because if you don't, YouTube will not share this with others. Be sure to subscribe to the Vegas Report YouTube channel so you don't miss all the important things going on in Las Vegas, as well as your living condition and your money. Hit that little notification bell too, because if you don't, YouTube will not let you know when we come out with one of our new videos. Oh, and if I seem like the right agent for you, I would love the opportunity to apply for the job of being your real estate agent. In April, the Las Vegas housing market had to deal with a stay-at-home order. Lending conditions were restricted, requiring a higher credit score and lower debt to income. We also had to deal with a limited inventory as a result of a ban on showing occupied homes. Deals fell apart due to job loss. And with all that, we still had a solid 1,971 homes sold. That's a 28% drop over sales over the previous month and a 31% drop over April of last year. New listings were also down in April at 2,630 homes listed. That's a 31.1% drop from March. Then we have May numbers. We sold only 1,695 homes. That's down 48.1% from May of last year. And what do these numbers tell us? As I expected, we're seeing a large section of unmotivated buyers and unmotivated sellers just sitting things out. Let's face it, sellers don't want to have people coming and infecting their home with the coronavirus. And while buyers that can are waiting to see if the housing market is going to fold like a bad hand at a poker table. And they don't really want to get sick either. And at the same time, we're not adding enough homes to move the market towards a buyer's market. It is often considered a neutral market when you have at least 6 months of supply. That, however, I think is a better benchmark for the national market. I have found that Las Vegas starts acting more like a neutral market at about 4 months of supply. Now in April, we had a 2.8 months of supply, while in May, we had a shocking 2.6 months of supply. 69% of the homes that sold in April sold in 30 days or less. And we saw similar numbers in May. Now there's still a lot of uncertainty, and the biggest is, when will the government allow evictions and foreclosures? That could change things very quickly. Now this recession is different than any we have ever gone through in the past. It is a spectacular marriage of the Spanish flu and the Great Depression. Oh, what a lovely couple they make, said no one ever. I've heard it said that Las Vegas could have as high as 30% unemployed. That would be Great Depression type numbers. These people would normally have very little money and would not be able to pay all their bills. They would be looking at, sadly, losing their home. And if they had any equity, they'd be rushing to sell that home. If they didn't have any equity, they'd be looking at a short sale or foreclosure. That would push a ton of homes to the market in a short period of time. This would be a different movie, but with the same plot as the 2008 housing crash. This would put other businesses in jeopardy. These people would no longer be able to spend money at restaurants, dry cleaners, carpet cleaners,
etc., etc., etc.
Business owners would be suffering and would have to fire more people or lose their businesses entirely. They would also be looking at losing their homes, and that downward spiral would continue. What makes this different is how the government is bailing out everyone. You're finally too big to fail. The feds have a blank check to do whatever it takes to bail us out. Government is artificially pumping air back into the market, so the 30% that are unemployed are in many cases making more money than when they were working. and now they have more discretionary money to spend. One thing that they can't do, though, is they can't buy a home if they're unemployed. But they won't be selling one either. So you can see how this has staved off a crash. Whoa, hold on there, Adam. How long do you think we can actually keep pumping money into the economy without there being irreparable damage? And that's a great question, Adam. I mean, quite frankly, we don't know. It's never been done before. But one thing's for sure, we're going to find out. I have already gone on record as stating that the great American bailout will not stop in 2020. It is an election year. And I expect it will continue through part of 2021, where the feds will slowly start to wean us off. And they may try to do that even in 2020. We'll see. Now, if we can thread this economic needle where we balance weaning off of the artificial pumping of the economy while the natural economy takes over, there'll be little damage to the housing market. In fact, we may see strong growth to home prices as a result of inflation, because we've given the economy a mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Stock investors have placed a rather large bet that we can pull this off. I too actually feel fairly confident that we can pull this off. Will there be consequences? Well, that's for your kids and grandkids to figure out. What could go wrong? Now, the flip side is if it takes us too long to wean ourselves off, or if we have a second wave, you could see a mutation, COVID-20, where the death tolls are higher. Not the good kind of mutation where everyone gets superpowers. We could see inflation. We could even see deflation. Basically, cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
It's not good. Tell him about the Twinkie.
There's still way too many unknowns to know how this movie ends. Will it be a tragedy? Will it be a comedy? Or will it be one of those cool sports hero movies where there's a huge comeback victory? I don't know, but grab some popcorn. It will be a bumpy ride. One thing I do know for sure, I believe in the American ingenuity. There will be opportunities if you know what to look for and are ready to act. So stay tuned and subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. And since you have that popcorn out already, you might as well check out one of my awesome other videos. And if you need to buy a home or sell a home, call me.